Good evening, everyone, and welcome to New Highland Elementary School first Black History Symposium. And I'm very honored because my son, Khaldun Aluwan, coming from Atlanta, Georgia, is one of our featured artists here. I think you've already seen a lot of his work. I must say that I'm very touched because he had planned to have his own personal showing in Atlanta, Georgia this month, but because his love for his mom, he really reported he wanted to come and support us in our school. So I'm very pleased that with him to do that. I'm an instructional assistant here at New Highland Elementary School, and I'm very pleased that they are very supportive of the culture and the diversity here at New Highland Elementary School. So thank you for joining us, and I truly hope that you did enjoy the prints that you've seen. He's a very talented and gifted artist, and I'm very proud of him.
Okay, I'm Khaldun Oluwa, a master oil painter out of Atlanta, Georgia. I mainly do my art for the sake of self-knowledge and empowerment of Black people. We have been led to believe and follow other people's concepts and ideologies, and sometimes it's important that we look into our true history because we have left a great amount of archaeological and architectural designs for the universe. So in my art, I like to always bring out that empowering aspect of my Blackness. As you see, it was done in like 1986. I was probably like in 7th grade, and there was an art project from one of my teachers who told me to, make a face on one side and try to draw the other side. And that's really where I got started, honestly, with that idea. Then you see the children, they did it today, so that was pretty impressive to me. Yeah. This something here it was a sketch from probably 30 years ago. You know, your mother, she keeps all your work, so that's it. She probably, I don't even know where she dug that out from. That's my grandpa. I did a portrait of my grandpa before he passed. That was another like 20-something years ago as well. And then we're coming into the oil painting. I always like to show the strong symbolism between the mother and the child. I love my mother so much, so I always try to put that in my art somehow, some way. And this whole collection is called Cultural Preservation. And I do this because our culture has been so much manipulated by other forces that it's important that we keep who we truly are and everything about where we come from and the traditions and ideologies of our people. It's important that we learn about that and embed that in our knowledge and self-understanding. All right, this is Uhin. And I did this picture because mainly it was a reflection of Black God. We've been taught so much about other people's ideas and concepts of divinity and godliness, so I wanted to paint an image so that Black people could look at themselves and have a reflection of God in themselves. This is my godparents. So I had to draw that, man, and they were presented in this paper from where I'm from, Wichita, Kansas. They did a paper they did a cover of them, so I wanted to draw that. And for all the Highland Elementary people, this is my mom, Sharon Conley. That's my first oil painting ever.
How you doing? My name is Brandon Butler, and I have a youth track program, Beast Mode of Kentucky. I also train athletes within the Hardin County and Kentucky area. It's called Beast Mode Accelerated Athletic Performance Training. Today, I'm doing a health and fitness, talking about health and fitness and how important it is to not just deal with the physical and the nutrition, but also how important it is for the mental standpoint. That's what health and fitness means in reference to becoming a better version of you that you can be. And so today it's a great day. It's reference to just being a part of this great event that the New Highland is hosting for Black History Month. And so look forward to it, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of this, and definitely love the turnout. Do you know where that donut came from? Probably not, right? All right, so know where your food has come from, but we always think about these diet plans, right? Go online, we have these diet plans. I read something today instead of thinking about the word diet, you say, so take those same letters and you say edit. Same letters. Edit your choices. Edit your food. Edit what you're doing. Okay? And if you take that, matter of fact, another assignment for y'all today, right? I want you to sit down before you go to bed and just write down the things that you did, you ate, and you drink. And if you look at that and you see Coke, donut, Coke, you could probably edit those things, correct? And I want you to replace those things with something of substance. All you need to do is change one thing, one habit. One is going to lead to what? And two to what? Three to what? Woo! Look at here. I'm telling you, we learning something today. All right. So, all right. Take baby steps. Another thing is, all right, I'm not going to pick on you ladies, but I am right now. Do not focus on the weight. Focus on the inches. Focus on how you feel. Sometimes we get on that scale. Y'all do know that muscle weighs more than fat, correct? All right? But then everybody forgets that statement when they step on the scale. All right? Oh my God, I'm heavier than I was. But focus on your inches. Go in there in the factory closet, males and females. I seen some pants the other day. They wasn't skinny pants when I bought them. Right? They became skinny pants now. Right? So, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get into those jeans again. I think I'm gonna get into them. Right? Find something. Find a challenge. Find a vision. Okay? Set your vision. Just like we had that vacation, right? I know I'm trying to get to a certain destination, but how am I going to get there in the most effective way? All right? Another thing is, we always got to talk about the mental piece. If you don't read, start reading. And that's for our young ones too. Take the time out to just do, before I go get us busy. Take time out to just do nothing. Start with just 5 to 10 minutes of doing nothing. Especially if you're bored because you never have a time to just slow down. Okay? Board games. Find the things, board games. Get off your phones. Find some things that's going to be productive. We call it, I feel old now because my dad used to always say, do something productive with yourself. All right? But that's productive. Now I'm getting my mind to work and it doesn't have to look at this screen all day. All right? So, always remember this, you can't put diesel gas in an unleaded engine, all right? I learned that personally, okay? But I always think about whatever the food source or whatever somebody is mentally, verbally feeding you, is it a source of energy that can take to help you become better as a person, as a student, as a leader, as a supervisor, as a better parent? Can it help me progress? Will it keep me the same or will it deter me? Okay? Be the creator of your environment, not just the product of your environment. Create your environment. Okay? You all, everybody in here is a source. You are a well. Okay? Fill that well and continue to push out energy. Okay? But in order to push out that energy, you got to know where your energy is coming from. All right? Does anybody have anything for the group? Like I say, my name is Coach Butler. If you know of anybody that wants to train, you want to train, to track, football, whatever, get to the next level, by all means, you can go ahead and scan that. If you just want to talk and get some information, I'm never going to tell you have to do it this way. I'm just going to give you options. All right, because everybody in this room has a different lifestyle. All right, but all I ask you all to do is challenge yourself to just move and to do something, and then identify your why and check it. Okay, and every day we're trying to become better, the best version of us. All right.
Hello, my name is Dawn Kennedy. I'm an English as a second language teacher in the Hardin County schools. And the vision for this event really started about 2 years ago when we realized that our students have heard civil rights stories like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King each year during Black History Month, and they can recite those facts, but they didn't have a deep understanding of it. And the other thing that we learned is many of our Black African American students, because of the things that happened in slavery, did not understand their own culture. And they had been separated from that. And I'm third generation Italian immigrant here in the United States, and the stories and the understanding of my culture are a rich part of who I am. And so my heart was to bring that to our students in a way that they could reconnect with the beauty of the African culture. And I had an opportunity to live in Africa for 4 months when I was 19. I taught English in a high school and worked in a health clinic. And so some of these things are things that I have, over the last couple of years, we've developed a committee and begun to create these things. So this is a turtle shell from the ocean in Africa, and many of them are endangered now, but they often eat them and make turtle soup, and people will line up behind a pickup truck for, all the way down the street to get some turtle soup. Then tie-dye is very famous art form in Africa, and so this is actually hand-done tie-dye that someone created. And also it has the embroidery at the neck and the sleeves, and this is a men's shirt. Okay, in this display case, we have representations of famous African American athletes. And this is probably the thing we're the most familiar with in our culture because of the fame and notoriety of people like Babe Ruth, Shaq, Michael Jordan. But we wanted to put some real items in here to help students recognize that African Americans have contributed to wins in every sport. Okay, so here we have some typical displays of Africa. So the cassava is the staple of the African diet. In the United States, a food that you can see cassava in is tapioca pudding. And the little things that are almost like gummies come from mashed cassava, but they eat it like a potato, or they mash it and ferment it and eat it in a soup called fufu that almost every African loves. So we wanted to look at some of the foods that they eat. This is sugar cane. Sugar cane is actually extremely healthy for you. It's full of antioxidants, and it can help heal diseases like cancer and diabetes. The problem is we bleach and refine it. We strip it of the wax that helps it to pass through and cleanse your body. And so this was about double this length, and all the students at our school got to take a section and chew a piece of it and see where sugar really comes from. Much of slavery was based on this item, that many of the nations, especially in the Caribbean, had sugar plantations, and they brought slaves there to work on those sugar plantations. This is a white sweet potato. It's also called a boniato, and this is a staple of the African diet, and also the red sweet potato that we are more familiar with. Then we have plantain. This is not a banana. It can be called a green banana, but it's usually called a cooking banana. Many of us may have tried this in little chip form. You can buy it in the United States in like a chip bag, and this is a treat. And then these are wild eggplant. They're starting to ripen, but when we brought them in the building, they were white, and so we were able to understand why they were called eggplant. And this is eaten in many different types of dishes and soups in Africa. And so in this cabinet, we just have strong African leaders that have impacted us. We have Nelson Mandela, the Obamas. Not all Black Africans ended up migrating or being brought to the United States. We also have some things here from Trinidad and Tobago. One of our teachers was married to a gentleman from that nation. Harriet Tubman We have Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, Ida Wells. We have a polar explorer, Booker T. Washington, Madam C.J. Walker, one of the first female black millionaires in the United States who sold hair products and created an empire. And you can see other famous black Americans that have helped to shape culture, as well as animals that may be seen in Africa. I really enjoyed this display. This part down here shows 3 black female mathematicians, and if you've seen the movie Hidden Figures, it tells the true story about how their accurate and very complex mathematical work helped to launch one of the first rockets. And these are other impactful, so this is kind of scientists and mathematicians. George Washington Carver, this was a female aviator. And our children have enjoyed reading stories and learning about the cultural and economic impact that some of these people brought to our nation. These are pioneers. And then on this side, we have some art and humanities. Langston Hughes is one of my favorite poets since I was a child. One of the things he wrote living in Chicago was "The fog comes in on little cat feet." And his writing creates mental pictures for us. He's an incredible poet. And then this, I really like this. Being a teacher in an elementary school, sometimes our students have been looking for crayons to color somebody that looks like them. And Crayola Crayon came out with this Colors of the World with all of the different skin colors. And this has been fun to hear the kids' comments during Black History Month about this box of crayons. And I think that our children of every cultural background have heard so many stories about black slavery and the history of civil rights that they forget that they have come from some powerful roots. Living in Africa, I learned a lot about the importance of family, the respect of elders, and the way that the governments work from a tribal level up to a president or king of a nation. This is a famous queen called the Queen of Sheba, and she came from Ethiopia. She traveled a very long distance at the head of a camel caravan, and there's historical evidence of this, bringing gold, jewels, and spices to King Solomon. And so she was a powerful queen who had great wealth, and we want our children to know that that's also part of their heritage. This is an image from Ethiopia. You can see the gold. You know, we talk about kids getting the gauges, but some of those jewelry styles came from Africa and indicate wealth, position, power, and ruling classes. And she even has the gold paint on her face, and then some of the handicrafts that you can see in Ethiopia. A lot of people think of Egypt as part of the Middle East, especially since they speak Egyptian Arabic, but it is actually Northern Africa. And so it's been fun to see the kids' questions and see their faces as they realize that the pharaohs, you know, the hieroglyphics, the pyramids, all those things are also part of their cultural history. So we have a throne here with the lion's heads. There's hieroglyphics embedded with the scarabs here. And we have our lion guarding the throne. And then we have some African dress that one of our assistants shared with us. African history and culture is often overlooked in our studies. And so it's been really fun to work with the kids on the diversity of culture. There's over 2,000 languages spoken in Africa, 54 nations. And just to learn about the diversity of the culture has been fun. This is another instrument, but we wanted to let the kids play with it. And you often see this or some variation of this in bands today. But it was actually created from a gourd and hand beaded. And so this is a rhythm instrument that can go along with various genres of music. This is something that a student created showing part of ancient African culture and history. And when I lived in Africa, I was amazed at the things that they would wrap and carry on their backs or head, even going up mountains. Just an amazing strength. And then we have the elephant, and then this beautiful piece here is actually an early xylophone. It's handmade out of wood, and it gives you those same similar tones.
Giving your best and putting in hard work, because anytime that we do that, Emmeline, we're going to succeed. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to do in life, you can become that. Anything, yes. Even on your bad days, there's going to be a rainbow after the storm. So I talk about that. I also talk about the importance of failure. You're going to fail sometimes, and that's okay. You're not always going to get straight A's, for example. I know I thought that myself as a child, but that's, you may get a B or a C there, but still, you're still going to succeed if you have that within your heart and you put in the hard work. And you can travel the world too. You see the Colosseum there. You can go to Italy yourself, you can go to Egypt, anywhere where you want to go.
The only place I've been to is Tennessee and Florida.
Yeah, for now.
Where else did you go? You've been somewhere else.
Colombia.
Jamaica.
Oh, you've been to Jamaica?
When I was little.
That's nice. I just went to Jamaica myself, yes. And you can continue touring the world and visiting other places and being well traveled. The sky is the limit, and I say even soar beyond that, all right? And you see her, she's upset because she got a C-, but then she had to present in front of everyone, and she got a standing ovation.
Cool.
And see how she's able to succeed in her goal of becoming a biomedical engineer? What's this down here at the bottom? What does this say?
Self-love.
Self-love is that foundation that's going to get you there every time. You have love for yourself, you're able to take on the world.
Okay. I love.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yes, I wrote it with people with children like you in mind. I want you all to understand that your end goal can be met, and you'll achieve anything that you want in life, Emily. Okay? Yes. Yeah. So this is my first book that I wrote. The second one. Yes, the second one. You can take a look at this one too, Miss Emily. The second one is called "I Am Loved and I Love Me," and this one is short. It's full of short, memorable rhymes and affirmations, and that way children at a young age can begin to commit these to memory. Yeah. Oh, is it? You like them big like that? Okay, good. So, this one, it journeys through ballet, practice, and then recital. It just talks about, the importance of having a good time, understanding that you're pretty inside and out, and claiming that I'm pretty inside and out. I'm as smart as I allow. I am kind to those I meet. It's important to be open and to treat others with the utmost respect. Which one? This page or this one? Yeah. Is she pretty? I think it's important too, for me when I write my books, I want to make sure that I include. Hi everyone, I'm author Martika Chanel. I am speaker of self-love and inspiration. My mission is to spread the significance of self-assurance with a vision of self-love and inspiration in every heart. These are my 2 published books for children. My debut book is I Will Live My Best Life Too, and my sophomore book is I Am Loved and I Love Me. I wrote these books, I'm also a mother, so I wrote these books to help to encourage my children and to just demonstrate the importance of self-love, and also that perseverance and working hard will get them anywhere that they want to go in life. Thank you.
Number there, or going to the website annualcreditreport.com. And when we do that, we are actually making ourselves wise about the information that is on our credit report. And all this is really still in the realm of financial literacy. It is still in the realm of financial education. When I know what's on my credit report and I have a good credit score, the highest credit score you can attain is 850. However, if my credit score is 800, that is still considered an excellent credit score. That gives me negotiating power when I am ready to purchase a home or when I'm ready to purchase a car. Next slide. If you want to take your phones out and take a picture of the 3 major credit bureaus, again, every consumer is entitled to 1 free credit report a year. 1 free credit report a year. And our major credit bureaus are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Next slide. Next slide, sir. Yeah. Key takeaways. We want to make sure that we are wise in the area of financial literacy. We want to make sure that we are making great decisions. By the time you get my age, we really 27 plus. We got some people laughing in the room again, but we really want to make sure that we are making wise financial decisions. When we are growing our garden in the area of financial literacy, it helps us to manage our money better. We want to be responsible with our money, even at our young age. We want to be able to know the difference between coins, the value between coins and dollars. We want to make sure, even at this age, that we are keeping track of our money. When I'm earning money and I'm spending money on something, I want to be able to keep that record. I want to be able to keep that budget.
Good evening. I am Robbie Richardson. I am with Keys Community Development Center out of Radcliffe, Kentucky. And on tonight, I presented to the students and to their families, I talked about financial literacy and what financial literacy means. And we're never too young to start talking about financial literacy. We talked about what encompasses financial literacy, what is a budget, the difference between coins and the difference between dollars. We talked about comparison shopping. And we went around the classroom and we asked the parents and the students, what does financial literacy mean to them? We talked with them the importance of budgeting and what we need to do to budget, and that we're never too young to start learning about financial literacy. And with that, we did have feedback from the population of people that came out on tonight. And with that, I do believe that the Black History Symposium was successful as it related to not just the people coming into this classroom, but going out into other classrooms and just learning about different things within the community. Again, financial literacy is so important. When we start now, we are able to make better decisions when it comes to money management, when it comes to our personal financing. So with that, we are hoping that the people who attended financial literacy on tonight, that they took away the key takeaways. And one of the takeaways was to learn how to manage your money better.
I am Terry Owens. I sit on the Radcliffe City Council here in Kentucky, and I'd like to thank everyone for attending and participating and coordinating this wonderful Black History Symposium here at New Highland Elementary School. And it is the best way to do hands-on learning, to correspond and talk with people that sometimes you don't get to see except for when you're swooshing in and out, dropping your kids off, or just bumping into them out in the public. So this is a great way to see art and history, learn about financial literacy, and of course for me to discuss the 3 levels of government, both at the state, federal, and city level. So that way people can understand how they can be engaged as citizens and how to really understand what we do for them as elected officials, and above all, just to make sure that we meet their real expectations.